Welcome back, Guardians. And today we'll be talking about the Reef Wars, which is an extension on Mara Sov, which is an extension on the Twilight Gap. But the Reef Wars were a battle between the Awoken and the House of Wolves. And actually, Mara Sov is the person that caused this war. She intentionally made the Reef Wars happen. But it was all for benefit. She knew that the House of Devils and the House of Kings were planning a massive attack on the last city on Earth. She knew that humanity could possibly win, but then she saw the House of Wolves gathering hundreds of thousands to millions of fallen, coming together just outside the asteroid belt. Phyrexis, the Killer Wolves, had most of them regroup at Ceres. This is a dwarf planet inside the belt. And that is where the Awoken decided to use stealth attack on them. He turned off their lights, turned off their thrusters, and just floated towards Ceres. Fallen had no idea they were coming actually, which is strange. This attack was led personally by Queen Mara Sov. She was very unworried to these forces. She didn't think they were going to do anything, because she brought her Harbingers. Now what Harbingers are is they are very powerful weapons. It's one of the things she used to destroy the Dreadnought. I don't know if it's the orbs, but whatever they are, quite powerful. She used this to disrupt fallen ships and servitors so severely that they were left barely functionable, which unleashed such a destructive force that Ceres and over half the House of Wolves were wiped out. Among those killed was the Kell of the Wolves, Phyrexis, but before they can completely annihilate everyone, the remaining wolves scattered into the asteroid belt, never to be seen again or never to reach the Twilight Gap. But among the scattered, 3 new people to rise to the throne of Hell came out of the asteroid belt. This was Xerxes, Wolf Baroness, Phyrexis, the Howling, and Skolos the Rabbit. You may recognize the name. The 3 instigated a civil war within the House of Wolves, which is not a great thing to do when over half your house was destroyed. In the early part of the war, Xerxes had the upper hand. She had many servitors to help control most of the house. If you don't know what servitors do, is they not only are they part of the fallen, they are also used to be a power source to make the fallen stronger. So if you have a bunch of servitors, you're most likely going to be more powerful. She had Calyx, and she also had Orbic servitors. So Skolos sought to eliminate Xerxes first. The battle was known as the Eos Clash. Leading Skolos' fleet was Picus. Although he brought victory and Xerxes' death, it was very terrible to see the actual outcome of what happened. Even though Picus won the battle, both sides were pretty much destroyed, and because of this, Skolos was very pissed off. He demoted Picus to Dreg, because the fallen work in a merit system, just like most militaries in real life. Later, Skolos sent Drevis and his Silent Fangs out to attack an Awoken space station called Amethyst. This ship led the Amethyst out into a remote area, and to their surprise, however, it was not Drevis' ship that they found. It was actually Phyrexis. The Silent Fang had tricked the Awoken into feeding Skolos' last rival. Skolos was the last alive, and he declared himself Kell of the Wolves. Later, Prince Uldren successfully broke a wolf's encryption and discovered where some of the fallen were hidden. They tricked Drevis into flying into one of the ship's paths, destroying her ketch, leading to her capture. In an effort to rescue Drevis from Skolos' side, Persis attacked Pallas. The battle grew in a stalemate, however, because neither side could use their full strength without risking major collateral damage. The stalemate, however, was actually broken by Weaksis the Meek. Now, Weaksis is actually a Dreg of the House of Wolves. He only had one sole claim to fame, and that was during the siege of Pallas, which is this. Nothing else really happened with him. They managed to breach one of the Awoken ships and capture Commander Hallam Fen. However, when Perseus decided to attack the already weakened hull and reach one of the Calyx's cell, he was cut off by Imogen Rife, who killed Perseus. The siege still continued, however, on Pallas, and the Queen ordered some of her paladins to go out and hunt for Skolos. However, this was very fruitless. He was very hidden in the asteroids. You're not going to find him. After the Awoken led a bit of a strategic attack, the Crows made contact with Varix, former scribe House Judgment. Varix was displeased with Skolos, and he too had a vicious hatred towards him. And Skolos, having lost many important lieutenants during the fight, planned an attack against an Awoken military fortress called Cybele. However, thanks to Varix's betrayal, the Reef knew Skolos' attack, and all 4 Reef's Armada paladins were waiting for him. He was defeated in this decisive battle, Skolos was captured, and he was sent to the Prison of Elders. After this, Varix declared Mara Sov the new Kell of the Wolves, and advised others to swear fealty to her. The first among them to do so was Savix, who served closely with the Queen as one of her guards, and a small few attempted to continue their fight. However, the Awoken just destroyed them immediately. Sometime after the war's end, however, Queen Mara gifted the imprisoned Skolas to the Nine. Back then, apparently in the beginning of the Reef Wars, the Awoken sided with the Nine, but no one knows what the Nine did towards the Awoken or how to help. But I guess that's how it led to Skolas being gifted to the Nine. If you know the story, one person, one of their agents, gave Skolas a ship and released him. No one knows who exactly it was. It does say it was a tentacle face, but that could be anyone. I mean, Xur does have a tentacle face, and it sounds just like him, but we haven't seen any other agents of the Nine, so... After he escaped, he declared himself Kell of the Kells, and I bet you know how that story ends. But anyways, that's been it for me. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys in the next one. Later, Guardians.